And who the fuck are you to say what can and can't be? You'll pay twice because I say you'll pay twice.
Maelstrom is one of the most unique and terrifying gangs in the cyberpunk world. You are introduced to them fairly early in the main story quest during the All Foods encounter, where you pick up the flathead for Dexter Deshawn for your raid on Arasaka Tower. Here you are put face to face with excessively enhanced individuals that make up Maelstrom. You're also greeted by Dum Dum and Royce, whose real name is Simon Randall, which I thought was kind of funny, who are keen to put you and Jackie on edge as soon as you get down to biz. But what is the Maelstrom Gang, and how did they become one of the most feared gangs in Night City? The Maelstrom Gang was actually birthed out of a former gang called the Metal Warriors. The Metal Warriors were a combat gang that followed a warrior's code and had various combat rituals and a crazy amount of enhancements. They were formerly a ruthless combat gang that often went to war with another gang not mentioned in Cyberpunk 2077 called the Inquisitors. Now, the Inquisitors are a cult gang with similar beliefs to the monks of Cyberpunk 2077, only a bit more extreme. The Inquisitors are, or were, a fanatical group of individuals who believe that cybernetics of any sort is evil and blasphemous, and will go to lengths to kidnap those who install copious amounts of cyberware and rip it out of their body by whatever means they see fit. In their eyes, this is seen as saving your soul. They would ambush their victims with EMP and microwave weapons to disable any enhancements, and then proceed to do their soul-saving endeavors. So you can see how a gang with an obsession for cyberware and the net would clash with the ideals of the Inquisitors. Eventually, the Metal Warriors, who were nearly wiped out by the Inquisitors, struck a deal with the Iron Sights Gang, a small, formerly Arasaka-funded band of cyberpsychos, and the Red Chrome Legion, which was a neo-fascist hate gang, to aid them in their war with the Inquisitors. The Metal Warriors adopted some of the ideologies of their former rivals, now turned allies, and went even more extreme with their cyberware, which we can see in Cyberpunk 2077, and also in turn fueling even more discourse between them and the Inquisitors. The Maelstrom Gang can usually be found in their turf on the industrial districts of Night City, specifically in Northside and Watson near the docks, where they will target corpo transports and smuggle in illegal goods, and also take out some rival solos doing biz. Now, in Cyberpunk 2077, Dexter Deshawn shares a shard with us before our heist on All Foods, indicating that Maelstrom only has 30 to 40 members, which is only partially true. Maelstrom has subsets of 30 to 40 members, each with their own role in the gang's biz, but in reality, the gang has upwards of 1,300 members. Most Maelstrom members dress themselves in a dark leather and lots of chrome. They are hard to miss due to their extensive cyberware installations. Most notably, their spider-like optics replacing nearly half their face on some members. The gang has a deep fascination with cyberware, the net, the occult, and just finding out the next out-of-world sensation. They also host arguably the scariest cyberpsycho sighting during the Bloody Ritual. This cyberpsycho sighting starts off with a message from Regina that reads, "Hey, Maelstrom's got a cyberpsycho problem. As usual, I'm only interested in a problem that's under control but alive. And be careful, Maelstromers are crazy, psychosis or not." Police drones just spotted some weird symbols on the ground, surrounded by tons of blood. Wild guess is this one of Maelstrom's sick-ass rituals. After investigating a meat-filled refrigerator of human entrails, you reply to Regina saying, "Something about this ritual went wrong. Seriously wrong. Place is covered in guts and blood. Must have had something to do with uploading the brain into the net and straddling the border between life and death. Only the girl who jacked in couldn't handle it. She went psycho and started tearing into her chooms." To join Maelstrom, it is required that you get your eyes, nose, and other facial features replaced with their fiery red optics. This is usually done without any anesthetic, and if you manage to survive this ordeal, you secure your spot in the Maelstrom Gang. If you're familiar with the Witcher series, this is similar to the Trial of Grasses in a way. Now, they are constantly pushing their bodies to the limits of cyberware, and they're always hungry for more advanced and more expensive implants to improve their weak flesh. Unfortunately, for some victims of the Maelstrom Gang, they don't only experiment within their own ranks and will abduct people off the street or from rival gangs to experiment on them with whatever new and twisted ways they can come up with. You can even see this occur during the side job Sacrum Profanum, where you help a monk save his brother from Maelstrom's experiments.
Your implants, they look
What
done.
have I done? Done or not done? A bhikkhu does not defile his body through cyber modification. It is against the Platimoksha. And yet, they knew about this. For me, there is no return.
hold on. Somebody forced you.
Not just me, my brother too. They drugged us, desecrated my body. And all the while, they mocked me. How can you do this to a fellow human being and still mock them?
Makes no sense. Who'd go and do something like this? And why?
We were out begging for alms when they approached us. They laughed at us and asked if we would take implants as a donation. They looked more machine than human. They told us they would improve us like tools.
Maelstrom. How about your brother? You still with him?
Yes, I was first. Then they were trying to decide how to modify him.
The gang makes most of their money from smuggling illegal meds and drugs, but also participate in hit jobs, which are carried out in a most brutal fashion. Many times, the targets of these hit jobs are tortured in unimaginable ways and found with missing limbs and/or skin. They've also been known to pull off high-level heists on corpo transports. They are also rumored to be involved in the black market braindance scene, which showcase visuals of how they carry out their experiments and hit jobs. In addition to the disturbing black market braindance, they produce a specialized set of recordings called numbness, which will put the viewer into an emotional void. This is often very popular with overstimulated braindance users. Maelstrom also has a stream of income from their club, the Totentons, or Dance of Death. The Totentons Club is a club you can visit in Cyberpunk 2077 during the side job Killing in the Name, where you save Nancy during Carrie Uridine's storyline. How smooth your experience there goes will change depending on how you handled the all foods encounter earlier in the game. Totentons is probably one of the most dangerous clubs to find yourself in Night City due to the idea of a good night out having a body count of 20 plus. If there's any less deaths, it's considered boring and dull. All gangers are welcome to the club, and it isn't just exclusive to Maelstrom, but only the most psychopathic solos or gangers will find themselves having a night out at the Totentons. Maelstrom is also implicated to be quite powerful politically, as can be seen with their deals with Militech during the Prophet's Song storyline, as well as during the Dream On storyline with the Paralysis, which I won't delve too deep into so you can find that out for yourself. If you've seen Cyberpunk Edgerunners, they put a big emphasis on cyberpsychosis and how devastating it can be to certain individuals who may have a predisposition to this condition, which can be exacerbated by installing cyberware. There's been discussion online as to how accurate this is, since Maelstrom members have nearly replaced their meat bodies as much as Adam Smasher. Surely, Maelstrom members should all be cyberpsychos. And the answer to that is yes. Almost the entire gang is made up of cyberpsychos. A full third of the Maelstrom gang fits the clinical definition of a cyberpsycho, and the remainder of those who don't meet this definition are on the verge of cyberpsychosis. Now, in terms of the actual vibe of cyberpunk as a genre, I feel like Maelstrom fits the world the best. They are the most augmented individuals outside of Borgs, such as Adam Smasher, who are pretty much just solos that are bodyguards for high-level executives in Corps. Now, I hope this explains a little more on the Maelstrom gang, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like down below for me, and I'll be touching base with a lot of other lore bits of the world of Cyberpunk, probably just starting with all of the gangs since they are the most prominent thing in Night City, other than the actual megacorps themselves. So if there's any specific gang you want me to touch base on sooner rather than later, go ahead and drop a comment for that down below. Otherwise, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more Cyberpunk lore videos. And with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.